I'd say that except for the pate, that was a success. Jane seems very taken with you, Lydia. You should hit her up for a donation. Turn on the charm.
I expect we should be heading home too. Could you have Jenny call a cab?
Well, actually, baby doll, your father and I have a little something we'd like to discuss with you too. And it's getting late, so why don't you two stay in the guest room this evening?
Stay here? Mother, you must have a fever.
No, really. The room's all fixed up, and we can have a nice breakfast in the morning and then drive you home.
Well, that's settled then. Please, make yourselves comfortable. Muriel, where's
It's right here.
Oh, Jerome, Lydia, we know how you two have struggled these last few years, and in light of my philosophy of self-reliance, we appreciate how you've managed to pay down Jerome's loan, in spite of the fact that his practice has been, well, less than a success. Believe me, we take no joy in the hardships you two have endured.
Get to the point, dear.
Oh, yes. Muriel and I have decided to share some of the bounty of our good fortune with you. Muriel, where is that envelope?
I just gave it to you, dear.
Oh, yes, well, you did read it. Jerome, Lydia, accept this with our blessing.
Consider it a belated wedding present.
I'm so excited. I honestly have no idea what this could be.
Open it.
Oh my. Does this mean?
Exactly. It's yours as soon as you sign a few papers.
Lydia?
Jerome, it's the Connecticut cottage. You haven't seen it yet, but it is the most beautiful.
We figured that with us spending so much time in D.C. these days, it seemed a shame to let the house sit idle.
I don't know what to say.
It's only 45 minutes commute from downtown by rail. And once that new thruway is finished, why, I imagine you could do it in under half an hour.
I'm speechless. Dad!
Well,
Oh dear, Lydia, please. Excessive gratitude leaves me exhausted. Let's leave these two alone for a little bit. Jenny, is there any leftover pudding?
So, you really didn't know anything about this?
No, I'm absolutely floored. Just think, our own house.
Well, don't you think they should have consulted us first? I mean, we might not want to live in Connecticut.
Oh, Jerome, this is more than a gift horse. This is a champion thoroughbred. A whole stable full of them. A house in the hills, a fence round the yard. It's like a dream come true. Picnics on Sunday, and maybe one day sneak a little bundle in pink or blue. Pay all our bills and not work too hard. It's well to be well to do.
Lydia, I'm not sure I'm comfortable accepting a gift like this.
Oh, don't be such a dunderhead. They're filthy rich. Buying this house was just a whim for them. Someplace to go for a few months in the summer. We would be complete idiots not to accept it, considering our current living situation.
Well, I can't help but be suspicious. You know they've always resented me. And now all of a sudden I'm invited to dinner, invited to spend the night.
Don't be silly. It's like Mom and Dad said, they barely even use the cottage anymore. And they probably got tired of my complaints about our apartments. Just think of the parties we could throw. Why are you looking so glum?
Well, I suspect this is tied in with the conversation I had with Venner and Slocum.
Well, Father did say they had important business to discuss tonight, but
Do you know about the scientist they want me to treat?
just a snatch of conversation here and there. I overheard Father saying that you would be the perfect person for this job.
Yes, I'm asked to take on this new client, vital to national security, and then immediately afterwards, your parents offer us their summer house. I think that's a bit of an odd coincidence. Puts me in a moral bind.
Moral bind? What are you saying? You can't possibly think this is anything more than a wonderfully generous gift. You think it was a bribe?
Your father would stand to benefit from any new government weapon system.
Oh, great. Now you're accusing my father of becoming a war profiteer? How can you be so ungrateful?
I seem to recall a time when you would agree with me. You were the one who used to call him a profiteer.
Well, I was young and stupid, and it's about time you grew up. Who in their right mind would turn down the gift of a beautiful house? Because you have moral objections?
I'm sorry, Lydia. I'm just so confused by everything right now. It's been difficult lately at work. I've had trouble concentrating. Today, I completely drifted off in the middle of a session. Didn't hear a word the person said. I pretended to have a headache and sent her home early.
Oh, poor baby.
Lydia, I'm seriously considering going back to writing.
Why, that's great, hon. The house has a beautiful room with a nice view of some woods. We could fix it up as a study.
No, I mean back to writing as a career.
What are you saying? Quitting your practice? Did my father put you through medical school so you could retire after 3 years? So you could go back to wasting your time writing those little fantasy stories? I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to sound that way. I don't mind you pursuing your hobby, but you're talking complete nonsense.
I'm reaching the point where I can barely stand to be in the office anymore.
Well, I imagine talking to loonies all day could get wearing. But it wasn't I, Jerome, that chose the field of psychiatry. I remember you saw it as a great adventure, the last frontier of the human mind.
Well, it certainly seemed that way back at the camp. It was so important for those inmates to talk to someone, anyone, about what they'd been through. And I thought I could make an important contribution to the field, but now I find myself stuck with a caseload of morose, bored, self-absorbed whiners whose worst trauma in life is having their son not make the school basketball team.
Well, you did your internship at the state hospital. You could go back to work there, couldn't you?
I don't think I could bear to face that again. I need some hope, some light. That place is all gloom and despair. That's why I love writing so much. I can make things turn out the way I want them to. The psychiatric ward led me to believe the human mind was a frontier, all right. A vast malarial bog. It's a jungle in there, a tangle of twisted emotions, repressed memory, a maze of ridiculous notions, a sea of unease, a swamp of subconscious connections, deluded projections, obsessive fixations, and rationalizations. It's an awful disease, and my analyses are purely in It's a prison in there. The bars are emotional schisms one can't even see. writing, I can show there's something noble in the human condition.
Oh, yes, yes, and all the heroes are blonde and muscular, and their submissive little princesses worship the ground they walk on. So juvenile.
Of course it's juvenile. It's meant to be juvenile fiction. Doesn't mean there isn't a deeper meaning in the stories. And yes, my protagonists are heroic. At least they're not self-absorbed and self-pitying with too much time on their hands.
You aren't referring to me by any chance, are you?
I'm referring to my patients.
Well, I'm sorry you hate your work so much. Maybe you should have thought of all this before you wasted years of your life and my family's money on medical school. Now, if you're going to be the one to go tell them no about the house, I want you to go in there. Go in there right now.
I just need some time to think.
Believe me, there's more at stake here than just your career and a house.
What exactly does that mean?
You know exactly what that means. Now, either go in there and tell them no to their faces, or you're going to have to accept that you have to make some compromises in life. Well?
I'm sorry, I can't decide about this right now. They want me to start seeing this new client exclusively, with just 3 months to finish the therapy. Can't be done. And the house, it's part of the deal, I'm sure of it. How can I accept a gift like that in good faith when I have serious doubts about whether I can be of any help? I'm just not that good. And my heart isn't in it anymore. Tomorrow they're sending over some documents, the case history. I'll take a look at it, and if it's important enough and interesting enough, well, then maybe.
Okay, I'm letting you off the hook for a few days. I know you can do whatever you do. I, for one, have faith in you. But don't disappoint me. Now let's go join the family for a nightcap.